Okay, I've been working my design and I am absolutely loving working with this kit. It's just been a real pleasure. So I have some just feedback as far as working with the tools that I wanted to just pass along. A couple things here. First of all, I have done about 1/7 of my design, just I'm estimating, so about 14 to 15% of my design is done. The amount of time it's taken me to do this portion has been somewhere between 8 and 9 hours. And just, you know, a little bit there, a little bit here, a little bit there. And it's been pure joy. So I don't know what it is about these things, but they're very relaxing to do. So I'm completely enjoying this. I am working from the top down, and I have my base of my design rolled up, and I actually have it clipped to just hold it so it doesn't unroll all over the place, and I'm just setting it right at the edge of my table. And as I work, I'm just pushing it forward. So this is all going to stay nice and flat once it's done. With all of these beads down on the design, it's just beautifully flat. It's going to frame really well. I'm really excited about it. And when I finished this whole section, I did go through and I just sort of pressed in my design. I made sure there weren't any beads that felt lifted up. You can kind of feel them when they are. And then if you need to do some straightening, and I haven't really gone through and done a lot of this, but I do have a tool that I picked up on Amazon, and I can put a link below for you. But you can literally go in and just go and straighten up a whole row at a time and just press them in and kind of fix up any little wonky areas, because, you know, you're just hand placing them and you're being as neat as you can, but you're human. You're not a machine. So this just helps to straighten things up. So that's a nice little additional tool that you can have. Those work out really well. As far as my tools go, I have kind of 3 pens I was bouncing back and forth. This is the one that came with it originally, and this is a really great one. My colors, there's not very many spaces on this design where I have a big, huge patch of color where I'm going to need to have something as long as this. Now I'm going to point out too, this one did come with just a little bit of additional plastic up here, but since I haven't used it, I haven't worried about it. But if I needed to use this, I would take like an X-Acto knife and just come in and just cut all of that excess away. It's not supposed to be there. This is the only one of these tools I've ever received that actually had that little issue. It's very easy to fix, so I don't see it as a big problem or anything. But generally, that you don't. If you got one, if you've never seen this before and got one and had that, just you have to cut that away. It needs to just be a little surface here, and what happens is you pick up your wax in here, and then you can pick up a whole row of beads. And you do that by using your tray. When you pour into your tray, I'm going to show you in just a second here, but when you pour into your tray, you can make it fit into these little rows, and then you can actually, they'll line them up for you, and then you can take your tool and pick up a whole row of those diamonds all at once with the wax. Anyhow, this one, not so great. I need to kind of fix it if I'm going to use it, but I don't really have the need in this particular project for such a long stretch of beads. So what I do have, and I've floated between these two, I have a tool that I had already had for a long time, and it has the regular standard point. You can see how big the size is there. And I'll compare it to my fingertip, maybe that will help. And it had a nice little squishy holder. And then here you can do 3 at a time. So I can actually come in, pick up 3 beads, and then come down and place 3 beads in a row, which is nice when I have something that has a little more of all of one color. This tool, I've just been loving. It takes just a tiny bit of the wax. It can sometimes be a little harder to pick up, but when I do pick up, there's something about being able to see the whole drill that I'm really enjoying, and I'm just putting down. So I'm going to show you as I work. I'm going to use this for a little while and actually film that, just high speed. And then this edge is nice. It's big and bulky. It's okay to kind of pick up and press, but I don't like to like press down on it a whole lot because it's kind of squishy. So I'm actually enjoying this point and this other metal point the most, because I feel like with these, you can actually get right on a dot and kind of move it and position it a little more. So that for me is working out really nicely. I do find with the small one, I have to refill it with the wax a lot more. Now, I mentioned that I had a certain way I liked to work with my diamond drills. I went through the whole top of this design and I didn't even sort my beads. I used the plastic bags, and I'm going to tell you, this drove me crazy because I was getting in and out of bags so often for all of these colors, and every time I get to the top of these bags and I have to, I mean, I can hardly even do it, try and peel them apart, get it open, and then I have to reopen it to pour them back in, and I don't know. It was just tricky for me. I didn't like it. So I went ahead and went back to my old method, the one that I've enjoyed a great deal. I bought this little kit, and it actually comes with 30 little jars. They do not have labels on them, and it comes in a little kit like this. So 30 little jars. They have a nice little screw-on cap. They are great for something like beads because the caps, there's no lining in them, and this will make sense. The reason I say this is I've tried them with glitters before, or with like acrylic nail supplies. These are great for bigger items like this. They are not good for fine powders or for glitter because they don't have any kind of seal in the top. Like if they had the little, like a liner in here, it'd be better. So when you try and have powders and things, it does kind of get into the edges and stuff. But for beads, they're perfect. I love them. So I picked this up at Joann's. I forget the brand. It might have been Bead Landing. It might have been their store brand, but I did get it with a coupon. So it was, I think, $8, $7.99, and I got 40% off. So, you know, $3 or $4, and I got a set of 30. My design had 36, but I do have more than one of these. So I actually have my excess. And what I do is I've got them all in here by number, so it's really easy to find what I'm looking for. And I've just been keeping them kind of lined up, but I've actually taken one row out of here, this last row, and brought this up to the lid. So this is how I've been working my design here. This is color 29 in my hand. So I've been leaving these up here and the rest in here and working my colors this way. And it's kind of nice because the rest of the tray I've been throwing my little tools. I have the tweezers from the kit, but well, these are adequate. They work perfectly fine. I love my tweezers. These are Vitas tweezers. They have a nice curved edge and a nice super sharp point, and they're really good grabbers, and I just like them better, but these are fine. I just like these better. So this is what I've been working with. And then I have my wax, of course, and I just kind of keep all that in my tray, and I keep the little tray there as well. So when I want to fill up my tray with a color, I just grab a color that I'm working with. I pour it out, and this, I'm going to show you how you can pick up multiples. Give your tray a little shake. I don't know if you've picked up, by the way, that I keep referring to these as drills. I really don't know why they call them drills, but that's one of the names they call these, is diamond drills. D-R-I-L-L-S, just like a drill that you drill things with, I guess. Anyhow, it's just how they're referred to, and I'm not sure where the name comes from, but I've said that many times, and I kind of caught myself and thought, you may not know what I mean by that. So that's what I mean, diamond drills. So as you can see, by giving them a little shake, they sort of go right into those little slots. And that makes it really nice when you are picking up multiples, because you can come in, like my edge here, with wax with 3. So to put the wax in, you just, your wax, by the way, has a little liner on it. But if you're putting wax in, you just place this down and come in and grab it, you know, and fill it with wax. It's already got some, so I'm not going to quite really do it, but that's how you do it. So kind of press it down. You just want it nice and flat. Then you can come in and grab, this one grabs 3. So you can grab 3 at a time, and then you can go to your design and place those 3 down. So that's how you do those multiples. They do have a new thing now too, where they have a wheel, but again, my design doesn't have large areas that I need to cover, but the wheel does the same thing. You just come in, I don't have one to demonstrate, but you come in, you have your wheel, you sort of roll it across that line and pick them up, and then you bring it to your design and just roll it across. I don't know if that one's going to work for me as well. I like my little 3 at a timer. I don't do as well when I have more, so this is just me. Anyhow, that's what you do. And then when I'm ready to put them back, see, instead of messing with those little bags, I just have a screw cap here, and I just undo it. I take this, I just tap it down, and they just tap right back into the jar. Whoops, one of them jumped. Two of them jumped. Put them back, put the lid back on, and I'm on to my next color. And again, because I'm changing colors so often, that was way easier for me. So that's how I'm working with my drills. And I have done my whole top section, so I'm ready to go on to the next section. I have already prepped by cutting away a piece of my design area. And I'm just going to zoom in and do this and speed it up for you so you can just see a section getting filled in. And I'm going to point out to you too that I'm working from the top down because I can push it back and keep it flat. I'm also left-handed, so I am working left to right on my sections. So I can come in, I can fill this whole section. My hand isn't going to be on top of anything sticky because I've kept everything covered. And I'm able to stick all of this down. It's a large enough area that I can get kind of a lot done, but a small enough area that I don't have to stick my hand down on it to fill it in. And then once I'm done with these, I'll cut the next section and I'll come back this way and then this way and probably 2 or 3 more sections out of that and fill in, and then I will slide up and start over here again. I'm left-handed, that's why I'm starting on this corner. If I were right-handed, I would start on that corner. And then because again, my hand would not be sitting on anything as I worked. So, and I can work from this corner over if I wanted to and go from left to right, because again, as I'm getting this filled in, my hand could lay on top of it while I'm working this section over here. But it's small enough that if I were working a color, I could literally try and go through the whole design and fill in most of that color, and I wouldn't have to worry too much about accidentally sticking my hand onto the sticker. You want to touch that sticker as little as possible until you're actually setting a diamond on top of it. So try not to put your hands all over it. Okay, I'm going to zoom in and we'll go ahead and fill in this section. Okay, here we go. This is the design. It is now finished. It's actually laying on my carpeting and I'm standing up over my camera to film this because it was too big for my desk, and it really is just gorgeous. I'm very, very happy with the results. These are the beads I had left after finishing the work. You can see, plus the other 6 little bottles. This was 30 of them and I had 6 more. But lots and lots of beads left, so I have those left over for some of those fun card projects that I have. I'll put a little link here in the corner for those. And this will be great for that. I'm really excited to have so many new colors to add to my stack. And I just wanted to point out that this ended up being my favorite tool. It's one I already had. It didn't come with my kit, but it's very similar to what you get in the kit. And it has the larger opening here. I just picked up the beads better and made placement really easy. And it had just a little three-piece multi-setter. So I liked that because you can see with all the color in this design that there were not a lot of wide open spaces that needed to be filled in. So I'm absolutely thrilled with the result. It was a complete pleasure to work this design. Okay, and here I've zoomed this in for you so you can see some of the finer detail of that work. So this design is by Victoria's Moon. It's a company in the UK. They ship all over the world, and there is a link below. Look in the description for it, and you can get a 10% discount on any of their designs. So I hope you'll enjoy doing this too. I sure had fun.